How's my house a fucking crime scene?
There's a deceased
There's a
person
dead
in your
body in
garage.
your
That's why it's a crime
There's
scene.
a body in there?
Yes.
A dead body in your
Stand up
garage.
for me.
At 0:04, the story begins on a quiet suburban street where Tara McCauley sits beside her 19-year-old daughter, Kiara. On the surface, it's a typical day, calm and uneventful. But in just moments, everything will shatter. The family's life, once ordinary and predictable, is about to be thrown into chaos. The air carries an unsettling tension, though Tara can't yet sense it. Inside her home, unimaginable darkness lurks. When a frantic call to 911 arrives, the reality hits. There is a deceased person inside the garage. Tara's world collapses as officers arrive and uncover the horrifying truth. The person responsible may be her own daughter. This is not a story of simple teenage rebellion or a fleeting quarrel. It is a chilling glimpse into the darkness that can exist in the most familiar places, where fear and tragedy intersect in a way that leaves no one untouched. The scene is almost cinematic in its horror. From the moment the 911 call is placed, the pace accelerates. Dispatchers hear frantic voices, the chaos in the background hinting at a situation far beyond a typical domestic dispute. This is the beginning of a story that will capture the attention of law enforcement, neighbors, and the public alike. A story that shows how quickly ordinary life can unravel into a nightmare. A brutal act revealed. By 0:25, the chilling nature of the crime begins to take shape. Kiara McCauley allegedly killed her ex-girlfriend, 21-year-old Grace Jennings, with a 3-foot-long sword. The weapon, horrifying in its scale, lies nearby.
I don't have all the information right now.
You can see like slashed on her knee,
She's missing a ear.
and then there's a big ass sword, and then there's blood stains all over the bed.
I walked into the garage. She goes, "Oh, I just did it."
Walk this way.
An unspoken witness to the violence. The body rests just feet away from her mother's living room, a stark reminder that tragedy can strike in even the safest corners of the home. The investigation reveals a twisted web of relationships. Kiara, Grace, and Isaac, Kiara's 22-year-old boyfriend, are entwined in a triangle marked by jealousy, betrayal, and emotional manipulation. Officers describe the scene in vivid detail. Bloodstains cover surfaces, the body shows evidence of a brutal assault, and a missing ear hints at the ferocity of the attack. The initial encounter is surreal. Kiara reportedly remains unnervingly calm as she explains the situation to her mother, speaking in a tone that is almost ordinary, despite the carnage unfolding around them. Family members, neighbors, and law enforcement alike struggle to comprehend the scene. For Tara, the shock is incomprehensible. The daughter she raised, the teenager she thought she knew, is now linked to an act so violent it seems almost unimaginable. This moment sets the stage for a story that explores the darkest corners of human emotion, jealousy, and calculated aggression.
First.
Need someone on the backside on the alley.
Somewhere down here, 5941.
Huh?
Oh,
Kick it in.
Let's put on the door.
Kick the door. I got you covered.
police department, let me see your hands!
Back up!
Back up!
What's going on?
Who called?
What?
So someone was getting killed in here.
We're being told that the girlfriend's in the garage. That's where she...
Where's the garage? Police department! Think it goes around, maybe? I think it goes around.
Dispatch and first response. At 1:18, 911 dispatch receives a frantic call. Isaac, Kiara's boyfriend, is on the line. struggling to explain what he witnessed. Law enforcement responds with immediate urgency. Within minutes, multiple units converge on Jaguar Drive. Officers do not know whether the suspect remains in the house or whether more violence is imminent. Every second counts, and every decision can have life or death consequences. Police divide into teams. One group clears the main house, checking every room to ensure no other victims are present. Another team cautiously approaches the garage, the site of the alleged murder. Officers move with a combination of protocol and intuition, knowing that a single misstep could escalate the danger. This response illustrates the unpredictable nature of live crime scenes, where split-second decisions can save lives or cost them. The tension is palpable, every footstep echoing the uncertainty of what awaits within the walls of the Macaulay home. The discovery in the garage. By 4:12, the gravity of the situation becomes undeniable. Officers enter the garage and find Grace Jennings's lifeless body. Her neck is slashed, and multiple wounds cover her body, evidence of a brutal struggle. The weapon used, a 3-foot-long sword, remains at the scene, a testament to the premeditated nature of the crime. Tara Macaulay remains unaware of the full tragedy occurring just steps away from her living room. Meanwhile, Kiara calmly explains the events, a dissonant image against the horrific reality officers are cataloging. The entry into the garage is meticulous. Every surface, every item, every drop of blood is photographed and preserved as evidence. Officers proceed slowly, ensuring the crime scene remains uncontaminated. The discovery is a turning point, a moment where the ordinary is irrevocably broken, and the horrific truth must be confronted.
Okay. What are you, Isaac?
Well, I'm kind of mother-in-law to be.
This is your daughter?
Yes, this is my daughter.
Step out with me real quick. What's your name?
Kiara?
A web of relationships and secrets. From 5:14 onward, the complexity of the relationships between Kiara, Grace, and Isaac emerges. Grace had been banned from the Macaulay property after a violent breakup, yet Isaac secretly allowed her to spend the night. This act of betrayal ignited Kiara's anger, creating the conditions for a crime born of jealousy and unresolved tension. The investigation reveals a volatile mix of emotions. Kiara's rage is fueled by a sense of betrayal. Isaac's involvement complicates the narrative, and Grace's presence triggers a deadly confrontation. Initial accounts paint Isaac as a passive bystander, but the evidence gradually suggests his participation was far more active. Detectives begin to piece together how jealousy, romantic entanglements, and secrecy can combine into a perfect storm, ultimately culminating in murder. The narrative underscores a sobering reality. Human relationships, particularly in youth, can become dangerously volatile when compounded by deception and obsession. What began as a seemingly ordinary domestic disagreement spirals into a catastrophic event with irreversible consequences.
Cats, I have to. They can't get out of the
Unfortunately, ma'am, but
house.
this is an active investigation, okay?
Can I
nobody's
lock
going back
the
in the
door
house.
somehow?
No, this is a crime scene at this point.
That was my house, a fucking crime scene.
There's a deceased
There's a
person
dead
in your
body in the
garage.
garage.
That's why it's a crime
There's a
scene.
body in there?
Yes.
Dead body in the
Stand up
garage.
for me. Let's walk this way.
What the fuck?
Couldn't come here with me, man?
Hello, I'm Sergeant Rodriguez. So we still have an active investigation here. I don't have a lot of the details.
Is she okay?
Who?
Grace! Is she breathing? Living? Is she okay?
I'm not sure of that.
I don't have all the information right now.
What happened?
We're trying to gather all the information, ma'am. So, like the Sarge said, if you could go back with us to the police department, and then we can give you a little bit more information from there.
Who's Gray? Do you have an idea of Gray, or do you have a photo of Gray or anything?
Grace.
Of Grace.
The interrogation strategy detective Javier Vigil of the Santa Fe Police Department takes the lead at 11:55, demonstrating a strategic approach to investigation and interrogation. His first focus is Isaac. Officers question him carefully, gathering context and allowing him to speak freely. They are aware of his prior domestic battery charge against Kiara, which automatically makes him a person of interest. Vigil's method is deliberate. By allowing Isaac to articulate his narrative, inconsistencies can be identified, and subtle cues of deception can be observed. Meanwhile, Kiara remains detained, alone with her thoughts, for hours. This period of solitude is not just punitive, it serves a psychological purpose. Detectives know that when she is eventually questioned, she may reveal critical information, inconsistencies, or even admissions through her attempt to manipulate the narrative. The strategy illustrates a delicate balance between patience, observation, and psychological insight. Law enforcement is playing a high-stakes game of chess, with human behavior as the board and truth as the ultimate prize.
On the dresser and then there's blood stains all over the bed.
Okay. Did we knock at the next door neighbors, see if anyone heard anything? Let's cross that off the list, so that's done. See if we get anyone that heard anything, and then we can take everyone back. We'll knock out our interviews, get our paper, come do our search, and then we can let go of the scene. Well, any idea why you're here today?
I believe it's because somebody was found dead in my room.
Where's your room at?
In the garage.
The garage?
Yes. I was trying to make sure this wasn't a freaking dream again. It feels so weird.
You believe someone was found dead in your room. Do you have any idea who that might be?
Well, so I'm really tired, but last night Isaac invited my ex-girlfriend, Grace Jennings, who now is going by Yamko. I don't know anymore. I always knew her as Grace, or Rose.
Kiara takes no time to begin her act, alluding that she's had dreams of murder in the past. Unfortunately for her, Detective Vigil won't pick up on this, so she'll soon make another try.
I was trying to sleep, but if you were blocking memories for me again. God damn it. Sorry.
Who are you talking to?
My best guess is that I have DID, but I'm not 100% certain.
What's DID?
Dissociative identity disorder. I haven't had it actually diagnosed, but that's my best guess for my research.
Kiara's psychological performance. When Kiara is interrogated beginning at 24:06, she presents a self-diagnosed mental disorder, dissociative identity disorder, or DID. She claims multiple personalities: Abby, Jinx, Jess, and even a younger version responding to her own name. However, experts later note that her behavior lacks the authenticity typically associated with DID, suggesting her actions are manipulative rather than symptomatic. Kiara's recounting is detailed yet theatrical. Convenient memory lapses, shifts in persona, and controlled emotional displays reveal a calculated attempt to minimize culpability. She blends fact and fiction, testing the boundaries of law enforcement's patience and expertise. The interrogation becomes a psychological battlefield, with detectives decoding the mixture of performance, manipulation, and reality. This episode underscores the challenges of discerning truth when individuals actively attempt to obscure it behind theatrics and carefully constructed narratives. The role of social media and fantasies between 33:08 and 34:48. Kiara's fixation on violence and dark fantasy becomes apparent. Her social media history, filled with demonic imagery and violent content, paints a picture of a mind increasingly detached from reality. She references an underground group called Ghost, which glorifies deadly acts and contributes to a dangerous fantasy-reality blur. Detectives leverage this information during interrogation. Allowing Kiara to speak about her interests and affiliations provides insight into her motives and mindset. Social media is no longer a neutral platform. It becomes a psychological tool.
I get rid of people who are words in charge of trafficking, in charge of anything that has to deal with hurting kids. He kept trying to tell me, just do it, and you're gonna just kill her. then you'll get ranked up.
Yes.
He had me join. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, and I kept hesitating. It's like...
What's that thing there?
It's, I'm very confused because he hasn't told me jack shit. He just gave this to me. It's like, you're a part of it. I'm like, okay.
Sounds like an initiation tattoo kind of.
Yeah.
Some ghosts, an underground society of people that are kind of their own version of cops and justice. They kind of kill bad people. And this is kind of me trying to piece together, kind of like what you're saying, like the messages I saw too. Was Isaac trying to push you to kill Grace?
Yeah. I had my dagger in my hand, and I kept going, and then just stopped. Like, I felt a little kid's hand hold me back. Like it was Kiara telling me, don't.
And a window into the ideation that may have influenced her actions. This period reveals the profound impact of online influence, where obsession, fantasy, and reality intersect in ways that can manifest in real-world violence.
Turn back to Isaac's interrogation room.
Hey Isaac, so I have your cell phone. I know our cell phones are very important to us because they have pretty much all our personal information on them and everything. Given that there were kind of messages and stuff, and this is still an active investigation, there is reason to believe that there is potentially evidence on your phone. So one way or another, we are going to have to look at the data on the phone. And it's just a fancy form and a fancy way of saying that you're giving us permission to extract the data from your phone and only look at things pertaining to this case.
Great.
Yeah, sign right there, please. And the phone password?
There's no password.
No password.
It's just a quick swipe up and that's it.
Okay.
Isaac's complicity and digital evidence. At 3616, attention shifts back to Isaac. Officers seize his phone, gaining consent for immediate access, a procedural advantage that bypasses months of potential delays. The messages discovered reveal troubling patterns: coercion, planning, and encouragement of violent acts. Isaac's responses under scrutiny gradually erode his narrative as a passive bystander. The digital trail becomes a critical piece of the investigation, demonstrating how technology can reveal complicity even in seemingly minor actions. Texts, images, and online communication provide a blueprint of the interactions that led to murder. This episode highlights modern investigative methods, where smartphones and digital footprints are as vital as eyewitness accounts or physical evidence.
Okay, messages. Did you have any messages between you and Grace?
Look at Instagram.
Instagram, okay. Okay, so this is kind of when everything started. Hey, I got kicked out, and she's telling everyone to leave her house. I'm going to head to my fam's place. First of all, who? Second, my mom can only come get me at 3:30. Why is she kicking you out, and does she know I'm here? Wait a minute. I thought you guys all hung out the night before.
The interrogation unfolds, revealing the truth. From 3714 to 3916, the interrogation unfolds like a psychological thriller. Isaac struggles under scrutiny, inconsistencies in his story exposed through cross-referencing with digital evidence. Kiara alternates between feigned confusion and calculated storytelling, revealing the strategic, almost theatrical manner in which she presents herself. Detective Vigil methodically pieces together the puzzle. By comparing accounts, analyzing behavioral cues, and integrating physical and digital evidence, the truth gradually emerges. The investigation illustrates the meticulous nature of law enforcement work, where patience, attention to detail, and psychological insight converge to dismantle false narratives. The story demonstrates how planning, motive, and opportunity intersect in tragic and often preventable ways.
At 3:30, what would you like me to do? Stab her? I don't know. I don't have the energy to do shit. I am fake getting thrown out. You're getting fake thrown out.
Yes, that's usually how it happens. I get told to leave, and 5 days later, she asks me to come back.
Unless I ask your mom to give me a ride to Target and you do.
Lessons from a Tragic Crime. This case leaves profound lessons for viewers, law enforcement, and society. Kiara's attempt to manipulate perceptions of insanity highlights the complexities of criminal responsibility in cases involving psychological claims. The meticulous work of police officers, combined with strategic interrogation and technological tools, ensures that the truth emerges despite attempts at deception. Moreover, the narrative emphasizes the dangers of obsession, unchecked jealousy, and blurred boundaries between fantasy and reality. Social media, fascination with violence, and personal grievances intersected with human psychology to create a lethal combination. Families, educators, and law enforcement can learn from these events about the importance of monitoring interpersonal relationships, recognizing behavioral red flags, and understanding the influence of digital environments on young minds. Ultimately, the tragedy at Jaguar Drive illustrates that no environment, no matter how familiar, is immune to darkness. Lives are irrevocably changed, and the story stands as a cautionary tale, reminding viewers of the fragility of safety, the consequences of obsession, and the power of meticulous investigation in revealing truth. It is a story of human behavior, psychological manipulation, and the devastating consequences of unaddressed emotional turmoil.